It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Well, welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
Me, old man DK.
And me, Than.
Even older man Than.
Bring you your
Accurate.
weekly at the moment, weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laserforce.
We didn't skip any weeks.
No, we've been actually pretty good. Consistent even. Consistent.
Consistent? That's never a word that I would use to describe us, but
yeah,
okay.
It's a wrong choice of words, maybe.
For sure.
Hydrate bot right out the gate.
All right, motherfucker.
You know what?
Really?
I have my coffee still. Cheers.
Yeah.
So-
Just be careful, guys. Everybody is now aware that I'm down to one bathroom at the moment, so don't hit that hydrate bot too hard.
We're down to one. No, we're down to none. Hence why we are late this morning. But that's more information than our Twitch audience needs.
Russ, you motherfucker.
Get used to it. I've stretched my bladder out over the last few weeks in preparation. Notice I said bladder and not a different body part.
I mean,
Like there's a joke in there somewhere, but
there's
there's
sorts
already
of
been enough of them.
Right. Anyway, we're getting into it. Good morning, good evening, hello everyone on Twitch. Hello to you guys. It seems like it's been a little while since both of us sat down. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but sometimes it's nice to see both your faces on my TV screen. Cheers, Hoodie. Nice to see you.
Hey, Hoodie. What's up?
two more motherfucking hydrate bots.
Every time you say that, like, they're just gonna flood in. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Oh, I love Hydrate Bot. It doesn't bother me at all.
Not
you
at
guys
all.
are inconveniencing me.
Not at all. Just before we started, I was trying to play around with the Hydrate Bot to see if I could add some blue lights, and I think I've gotten close. Hopefully I had that ready for tomorrow's D&D session. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, good morning to everyone.
The question is whether DK has any content for tomorrow's D&D session.
I mean, it is something that I have been thinking about all week. There is a name I don't recognize. Cheesy Boy 123. Is it a war crime to act dead to kill an enemy in war? I mean, it depends. Are you talking about laser tag? Because I think that is a penalty, actually. Thank you, Heathen, for the bits. Tomorrow it will get smashed. All right, well, I'll try and have the blue lights ready for that then.
Yeah, and we're not doing your philosophy homework for you. Don't ask us about war crimes.
Yeah, hard pass. I mean, that's extracurricular. Message DK after the show. He might be able to help you out.
Please don't.
The hair looks great, man.
Yeah, that's a big thanks to Autumn for fixing the hair before we headed off to St. George last week. She always does a great job.
Yeah, I like it. I might have something in my repertoire to match it, but again, we'll figure that out later. That's what we should do. We should set up like some channel points where people can change the lights to match DK's head.
You're gonna say to suggest my next hair color.
I could shave mine off and then I could have the light bounce off it.
Do not give chat the power to choose your hair color.
Oh, I'm not giving him the power.
That seems like a real fucking bad idea.
Yeah.
Just on so many levels, that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly right. Right. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks from a Laserforce perspective.
It has.
At least
for both of you.
2 out of 3 of us, yeah.
yeah. I just before we get into the recap for St. George Stacked, I just want to say fuck both of you because there's only one person on this show right now that has not played lasers in the last 2 weeks, and that's me, and I fucking hate both of you, and I'm jealous, and this is just jealousy talking right now. Fuck both of you for actually being able to go and do a thing.
Maniac said, my kid just asked if Steve really lives next door. I wish. Actually,
the answer is yes.
Yeah, I wish
metaphorical next door.
He lived next. Yeah, metaphorically, I live next door to everyone. I'm that guy next door. Hey, Dan Man, what up? Thanks for stopping by. Look, I had a couple things I want to talk about before we go into the recap, and then depending on time, we'll talk about some other stuff at the end of the show. But we'll get all the fun shit out of the way first.
Before we get super depressing.
Well, not depressing, just real. We're gonna get real. We're gonna get real people.
Maybe. We'll think about it. We'll see how we feel when we get to that point. Nice.
It has been a little while, Dan. I haven't been on Gilbo's channel for a little bit. I need to pop by. Dan is trying to catch G&D's 23 F-bomb speech. Oh, from my crazy rant from our competition. I got sent a link. It's almost looking at yourself acting like a baby is always mildly depressing. But I'm nothing if not entertaining, or at least trying to be entertaining. So
you're generally entertaining. Having said that, Hoodie, if I wanted to catch Steve-O's 23 F-bomb speech, wouldn't be a fucking problem. So let's just leave it at that.
I'll just say I'm grateful in some ways there weren't more cameras after certain games that were played in the St. George tournament.
That is the darkest I think I've heard you sound for a little while. I was like, oh man, like I think DK's in trouble. We might need to be there for him. You okay, bro? You all right?
Got a little angsty into day one, but
it was.
I have since made peace with my terribleness.
We'll get there. We'll
get there.
All right.
Yeah. So, other business first.
First thing I wanted to say was, and I said it on previous shows, but this is by far our most watched show. If you ordered a hat, a resupply hat, Firstly, thank you, and secondly, it's on its way to wherever you live at the moment, except for DK's. His goes via Texas. But everyone else, yours
Accurate.
is heading towards wherever you live at the moment. So hopefully they turn up sometime before Christmas. Not holding my breath, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Second thing, today we have a very special day for people in the wider Laserforce community. I want to say a massive congratulations to a couple of Brisbane players, Screever and Fishy, who are getting married today. So congratulations,
Yay.
guys. I hope you have an amazing day.
Yay.
Hopefully it's not raining, although, you know, wait 10 minutes because it's Brisbane. But yeah, massive congratulations. All the best and whatnot. And the third thing was, I kind of touched on it. We were playing Thunderdome on Thursday without Gray this week. Why the fuck are they not watching? Yeah, no, they should have us on at the wedding.
Totally. For sure.
But
yeah, no.
I missed it. So Smalley was dropping me hints. He was saying it's a certain someone's birthday, and I didn't know who it was because I hadn't been on Facebook really all day. But a massive belated happy birthday to El Diablo himself, Marcus out of Germany. Hope you had a great day, my friend. Filled with jumping out of airplanes because that's what you do. Yeah,
It's one of the things he does at any rate. He does. He does a lot of shit.
Yeah, well,
man, I swear to God.
I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to meet him in the flesh. It'll be cool to actually catch up with him in person. So
he is a genuinely good guy for sure.
He seems like
he's definitely become one of my favorite people within the community.
That's high praise.
That is high praise. Than doesn't like anybody.
That's right. He barely likes
That's
us.
accurate. I fucking hate all of you.
He tolerates us.
Yes, true. At best, I tolerate 90% of you.
This show is a springboard for his music career. We're a stepping stone in the career that is Than. But no, happy birthday to you, Marcus. Hope it was a goodie. Right. We should talk about the last week, because I know that we came here to get shit on, apparently.
It's not that type of show.
It's not that type of show, yeah. Regardless of what you heard about Germans, they're not all like that, all right? We're here to have fun. I'm going to pay for that one.
You probably are, yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck, bro? I thought we were good. I think most of you came here to hear the recap of how the... Yeah, that's a good emote, RT2. How the last week went at the St. George random draw. Was it a random draw tournament? I don't know.
It was a random draw tournament.
Perfect.
Although, as it is entered in stats, thanks to one Mr. Russ, it is just listed as Nerd Sturgis, which, for people who are not familiar, referring to the Sturgis motorcycle rally that became a super spreader event for coronavirus in the States, which thus far we've managed to avoid, but give us another week or two to double check to make sure that we did not just infect everyone.
That's right. You're in a somewhat self-imposed quarantine for the next couple of weeks. Is that right? You working from home? You work from home anyway at the moment, right?
I work from home anyway. So
Perfect.
yeah, minus all the contractors that are gonna have to come in and out of here to fix my bathroom.
You should put a sign on your door say "Warning: May have COVID," and then it's personal choice. But you were the only one of us that got to attend this week, which obviously some of us are more gutted about than others. How was the general feel of the tournament?
The general feel, I would say, was great. I think everybody was just happy to be there, would be a good summary. That we're like, we need laser tag in our lives. We're all incredibly happy to be here.
Yeah.
To actually see people that I really haven't seen, like, anybody laser tag related other than probably Aiden and Autumn, because I go over to their place to get my hair done. Really haven't seen anybody else.
Get your hair did.
Get a pedicure. Get your nails
Really haven't
did.
seen anybody else since this whole COVID thing started. I mean, it's kind of weird for me because, yeah, I see their faces on a weekly basis for D&D and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, being there in the flesh with people suddenly after all this time, like, I don't know, maybe I was expecting it to feel weirder, but it was almost like we didn't really lose a step. Like, oh, yeah, everybody's back together again. This feels kind of normal.
Mm.
Yeah, we're all wearing masks and it's a little bit different, but the core activity and the core laser tag love was still there, and I
Awesome.
got to meet some other new people, so it was cool.
That's dope. New people.
Wish I didn't
as in-
suck at laser tag, but
Well, look, so we got a message. It was after the first day, and I know the tone because I've had the tone before in various tournaments, and the tone was just like, fuck everything, I hate this game, why am I so shit at this game, everything sucks, I don't even want to do it.
I'm fucking
to be fair,
terrible.
I
What
never
the fuck
said
is this?
I hate the game and I don't want to do it. I was just very disappointed in mixing in my own
Oh,
play.
you didn't have to say it, my friend. It was loud and
Implied.
clear. Yeah.
The implication, the implication was coming across loud
I definitely
and
wanted
clear
to play.
that you were
I wanted to play
not
enough
having
to-
a good time.
I wanted to play off the rust was the issue. So
Yeah.
I did want to play.
10,000 points to change DK's hair color. That's a great idea. We might have to turn that into bits, though. You want to? We can. This has become a fans only page where you pay us money. To,
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it's gonna. Yeah, if you're talking 10,000, it's gonna have to be $10,000. So yes,
$10,000.
I will happily dye my hair any color you want, as long as you guys cover the cost of my bathroom renovations. I'm down with that.
For $10,000, I want to shave your head. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Anyway,
Done.
moving
Done.
right
Give me the
past
money.
that. Moving right past that.
You can just factor out the cost of my beanie.
yeah. I'll just deduct that $20 or whatever it was. Right on. So, but I mean, by day 2, you seemed a lot chipper after you'd seen some nature and calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, got a little zen, stuff like that. And the reality is, like, having looked at the stats and all that, I didn't play as badly on day 1 as I kind of feared overall, but it wasn't up to my very high standards that I set for myself.
Yeah.
And neither really were my play on day 2 or 3, but I kind of made peace with the fact that, well, look, man, you hadn't played laser tag in 15 or 16 months at this point.
It's been a
I
minute.
I haven't had the same kind of workout routine really since March or April that
Yeah.
I would have liked to have. I kind of deluded myself into thinking that, well, I haven't been taking that poor care of myself. I've been trying to, get some exercise and whatnot. But yeah, if I'm not
Thank you for the
keeping
bits.
the regimen that I usually use to keep myself in like laser tag playing shape, you feel it. And I
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
felt it in my quads and various other body parts over the last week.
Mine hit me in my coccyx. Is where I feel especially not fit.
Blimey.
Yeah, it like feels like the bottom of the way I describe it is it feels like my butthole was separated. And not in the healthy way. So yeah, that's where I get hit with my lack of fitness, is right there at the base of my spine, and it's like makes me walk like a cowboy. I have struggle going up and down stairs. Just struggle to hold myself to a high standard of living. Torn butthole syndrome. You're absolutely right. Al, you were stunned that your wife's so Al in chat said that his wife's friend's husband financed the renovation of their bathroom by selling old basketball cards. I have a lot of old collectible shit. Oh my goodness, a host? We've never had one of those before. Look at the blue lights.
What is that? Looks like you got the popo outside.
Thank you for the host, Goldfish. That's really nice of you. I'll teach you guys about it later. I'm a Twitch expert. I have a lot of old shit that I feel that I could sell to like finance. I don't know, some sort of revolution maybe.
I was gonna say, I think just the things behind you probably could finance something.
And yes, Ace, you're going to be very poor very quickly if we start that OnlyFans page for DK shaving his head. Yeah, I think once you get your lasers legs back underneath you, your general standard play generally goes up. We found that by day 2. Well, I found that by day 2 of our tournament. Like day one really struggled. It was a brand new maze, and I like could barely run. I had like a 2.5 hour long bath, I think, at the end of the day with like bar salts and shit, to try and like mush everything back into place. And
Seems reasonable.
yeah. And then the next day felt like, a little bit better, so I can kind of relate. How many days did you guys play? Was it 3?
It was 3. We had a practice day on Sunday, and then we played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. How the hell does Steve's body work? It barely works.
When it works at all, it's creaky.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it actually, I'm not even going to go there.
Don't underestimate the power of the thick.
Oh, we'll get there too. So yeah, well, the general sentiment was that people obviously missed the camaraderie.
People really missed playing, and yeah, just hearing from some of the people, especially like most of the SAC players, I would say Disco Monkey, Disco in particular, just has a very happy-go-lucky attitude about things. Like, it just feels good to see people and to play laser tag. I really miss laser tag. Like, that's a great attitude, man.
Oh yeah,
you're 100% right.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the more positive people within the scene.
It really makes me mad.
Nah,
oh boy, I hate
it.
Nah,
It doesn't.
It's good. Having had some pretty deep conversations with him over the years, I completely understand why he has the attitude toward things now that he does.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
It's nice to be thankful for things. Yeah. Where was our practice day, Stallion? When you play across 3 sites, you don't get a practice day. You get thrown into the fire, is what happens there. I don't know if you heard last week then, but there's a 4th site that's opened up in Auckland.
Fucking really?
Yeah. Yeah, so
okay.
Paradise
Why
Ice.
did you ever move back to the States?
Yeah,
Idiot.
you made a poor
I know.
decision.
What the fuck, man? Poor choices. Make poor choices all the time.
We just on that, actually, I was talking to site owners from both places, and both places are very, very keen to try and get a regular members night going. So if we can start and build something like that, which obviously takes a lot of work to do it at 1, but to do it at 3 would be pretty amazing. But yeah,
where's the 4th site opening?
So Paradise Ice Skating Rink, which is where in Botany, which is where we played on the first day, they have a second ice skating rink out west, out in Avondale. I think it's in Avondale.
Okay.
And so they've put another Gen 7 small system, and
Boo,
it's like a
Gen 7. Boo.
it's like a 10 pack zap
tag. Yeah.
Zap tag, that's the one. So it's very, very small, but still Laserforce grown in Auckland. If not anywhere else, I'm glad it's local. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
And so he then asked when the last time I played. I'm pretty sure it was it was October of last year in St. George when we had the really small West Coast where the Germans came over.
Oh, that's
no,
right.
no, it wasn't. It was East Coast in
East Coast. That was
February.
in, like January, right?
In February. So
February. That's what it was. Yeah.
Those are the last 2 times I've played. Was October of last year and February of this year. And February of this year, god damn it, was just supposed to be a fucking warm-up tournament. That was just supposed to be a taster, and then fucking COVID prevented me from going to New Zealand, and I'm still fucking bitter about that.
Maybe even more gutted that I missed those 2 tournaments that you went to.
Yeah.
So
like you say, you take advantage of it whilst you have it, right?
Yeah, because I had not played since Nats of last year. That was the last time that I'd played before this week.
We play on a weekly basis.
I've heard
had to
that.
go there. Yeah.
I swear to God, Steve-O, the next time I see you, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Good.
I'm just throwing that out there.
We'll add it to your tab.
It's a big tab at this point.
Yeah, you get off the plane and you're holding a bat. You're like, right, where is he?
I mean, that's pretty much not going to be too far from the truth, because I have a feeling like if we fly back and we fly into Auckland, I almost feel like maybe a few of you guys might be there to see Julie. You're not going to be there to see me.
Yeah,
you're definitely going to be there to see Julie, and just because I'm there, I will get to see you guys at the same time.
Bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
Al said, join the line fan. I didn't realize there was a queue. Apparently I need to watch my back. I'll be making enemies out of my friends. But yeah, the tournament. So every time I yeah, it's a bonus. It's a bonus, Ducky. Every time I went into Twitch to watch a game, there were no games on. Every single time I logged in, it was you guys were on a break, or like it was a public game or something playing.
Boo.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, the first day we basically forgot to turn the Twitch stream off, so I had to message Beans like 8 in the evening. I'm like, can you turn this off remotely? Because we've got turned off when we left Laser Tag, so it's just streaming public games now.
There is now bragging about playing Laserforce Weekly. Shit. But yeah, so I didn't actually see any of the games. I saw plenty of memes coming through. Thank you very much, Greg. They were amazing. Yes. But how did the actual gameplay go?
The actual gameplay, I think, went pretty well. I mean, randomizer, or random draw laser tag, and what we actually had done was Inferno very nicely wrote an HTML script and just had a little reloadable site we could use. So that way we could just roll teams ahead of time on people's phones. So whoever was like the head ref for the next game would just assign the positions for the next two teams, and we didn't have to, swap cards or chips or dice or whatever else people are using to draw positions and things like that. And we didn't have to rely on like the magic of the matchmaker, which I don't know if there's something going on in St. George, but any of the games we played using the actual matchmaker there, they were some fucked up games. Like, I don't blame them for not using it. They was giving us some weird stuff. But that worked pretty well. But anytime you have the random draw element, it just depends on whether RNGesus loves you or not. And there were many games that RNGesus did not love a lot of different teams. Everybody got the short end of the stick at one time or another. So it made for some interesting games, some not so interesting games. At the end of the day, the bottom three teams weren't that far apart, only a couple matches difference. So I can give you the overall standings. Please. So what we did was we had 4 rounds overall. There were 4 total teams. The first 3 rounds were the normal 2 points for a win, 2 points for taking the match. And then the 4th round, we did double points. So it was 4 points for a win and 4 points for taking a match. Ooh. So on and so forth. We basically did that in lieu of finals. So there wasn't like the additional pressure of like a finals round or something like that, because we're trying to keep this pretty casual.
Yeah.
But having jinxed myself and then fans said setting myself up to take 4th place, we indeed did get last in the tournament. So on 34 points, that was my team, Team D COVID.
That's a great name.
In third place with 38 points, so 4 points above us. So it's not like we got completely rolled. Was Team Thunderpants. That was on there. In second was Team Solo Medic or Team Solo Mid. They had a variety of different names. That was the primarily SoCal team. I preferred Russ's version of the original name, which was Team SoCal Distancing. They were on 46 points.
That is way better than Team
awesome.
Solo Medic.
Right.
That's way better.
And then in first, kind of running away with things with 62 points, was instead of Team Tandor, it was Team Tandon't. Team Tandon't.
Otherwise known as Team Stacked.
Yeah, it's Team Stacked. So there was a little bit of consternation after this, and I warned Tandor in advance that we were kind of going to be calling him out on Friday's pod.
Yeah.
So part of the idea was that they were going to be like training some of the newer St. George players, and I don't doubt that
training. Yeah.
I don't doubt they were newer players. They definitely were newer players. But that said, they were still home site players. They still knew the arena a lot better than everybody else. And just having that little bit of extra experience, especially in a maze that plays as fast as theirs, it turned out to be a lot. So 5 St. George players plus Kodama, yeah, they pretty much just ran the table on everybody, and they beat everyone pretty severely.
Fun. That's what you want. That's what you want.
It's not like they won every game or anything like that, but they definitely dominated the tournament in a lot of areas. So yeah, prior. Go ahead.
Slamman said that they had a chant and everything. I would very much like to hear this chant. You should record it and chuck it into Discord, please.
If there was a chant, maybe I don't remember it.
Ace is Texas now. You and Than.
Because he lives in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, me and Ace, we can form the core of a team, or a third of a team.
Yeah. How do you have 2 medics on the team?
That's a really good question. Lots of lives, no shots, and we're fucked. We're just gonna feed the other team a bunch of points and lose every game.
No, man, Ace is a heavy now. He was smashing people.
Was he? Well, that warms the cockles of my heart, is what it does.
Ace definitely did some work during the tournament. He goes in Ducky's favorite category, the honorable mentions.
Oh, I can't wait till he puts something in chat about that.
Yeah, prior to the tournament, we kind of tried our best to balance the teams based on some levels and estimates and things like that. And probably we didn't account for a home field advantage quite enough. And I think one of the other mistakes that we kind of made was we started with like a top-down chart of saying, okay, who are the best players? Let's rank them as 10s, rather than let's start at the bottom. Who are the very newest players, and how much of a skill difference is there between them and some of the other people who are coming to the tournament?
Yeah.
So based on the preliminary estimates, my team actually had the highest point total that was on there, but clearly that didn't count for a lot since we ended up getting last. So the initial estimates, I have everything here. So my team was supposed to be ranked.
Somebody did some preparation.
Not this guy.
Yeah,
not me.
My team, it actually went in basically reverse order. My team was ranked with 41 points. Thunder had 40. Team SoCal Distancing was 37, and Team Tandont was 36. Now, after the tournament, I went back through and kind of did a manual resort based on what my estimates were after the tournament. And I won't go through all the players and stuff like that, but unsurprisingly, the order didn't completely flip. So after the secondary rankings, I re-ranked my team. It ended up being a 9-point scale rather than a 10-point scale. So the top rank was a 9 rather than a 10. So the point values were a little bit lower. But my team was ranked at 32 points. Thunder's team at 36. SoCal Distancing also at 36. And Tandor's team at 37. 37. So it's not like they were night and day difference. And like their team was so far ahead of everybody's. They were only like 1 point ahead in ranking in terms of the others. But it's the fact that even like their weakest players were still home site players. They still had a lot more experience dealing with some of the situations and kind of knew how to work as a unit. So obviously there's some things that the stats and the estimates can't cover.
Well, and that's and the way that maze plays with and for people that are in chat that have never been to St. George, it's a smallish, fastish maze. You are in relatively constant motion. You know, your odds of holding a specific resup spot for the entire game are fairly minimal. And when you get kicked, you need to do the correct kick when you get kicked and get reestablished very quickly. And
otherwise, the game can be over in 4 minutes, as it was for my team at one point.
So.
And how long? 4 minutes.
I think it was about 4 minutes.
Oh, brutal!
Ouch.
We did that to a team last week.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I saw that game. It was pretty awesome. But so getting back to the team point values, even though off the reshuffle, there's only 6 points difference from from top to bottom
Mhm.
because of the nature of that maze. 6 points of difference has an outsized impact on the game. It's the maze isn't like a Detroit that is so big that 6 points difference, it's not. It's yeah, it's a difference, but there's so many places to get lost in that maze that you have a much easier time recovering on certain things. St. George, that 6 points of difference is, oh, are you kicking correctly off that nuke and resupply break, or incorrectly? And if you're kicking incorrectly, yeah, you turn into a 4-minute game. So yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
it could
that makes
get real
sense.
rough real quick. But all that said, I really like a lot of things about the St. George maze. I think what I ultimately like about it the best is that really no two games run exactly the same. Again, just to use Detroit as an example, the games play relatively similarly most of the time. Obviously, every game of laser tag is different. You're never going to play the exact same game twice, but it usually plays is that, all right, red team's going to go up the red ramp and they're going to set up their resupply there. Green team's going to go to the top of the green ramp. They're going to set up their resupply there. Some variation to that. Maybe you push a little forward. Maybe you have to fall a little bit back, but it's going to be some variation on that. SAC was kind of the same way. We have our primary resupply points at the top of both of the ramps. With St. George, basically with the team starting areas, you have like red and green are on opposite corners of each other, and then the opposite corners from there you have like a defensible blue corner and a more visibility heavy yellow corner where you can set up your resupply, but they're about equidistant from either side. So either team can decide, hey, we should try to take yellow this game or we should try to take blue this game. And you really don't know what the other team is planning. And that makes the opening so much more dynamic, and you have to account for it. And you can be in contact with the enemy super quickly. So it's not like, okay, everybody get resup and just go, and we'll figure out what happens when we get to the top. It's like, no, you're going to start shooting at people in like 3 seconds. So you better know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And Matt just made a comment in chat about not getting doubles at the start is the strangest part. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, like maybe one of the scouts gets a double, depending exactly what maneuver you're doing. Maybe the scouts both get doubles, but yeah, 3 hits usually we're not getting doubled because it's like you can't afford to have a 3-hit down. You need both of them ready to engage like right away.
Well, that's a symptom of like a small maze. If you're that close to each other, you can't afford to have your main defensive player down. Otherwise, your resup is going to get rolled. And we had we had the same thing at the 2 non-regular sites that we played at in our tournament. Like, you could double your scouts, but if you double your heavy, you're in big trouble. Your team is going to get beat.
I mean, technically speaking, you could in St. George resupply everybody, but you would have to essentially like stay on your platform, and then you're surrendering all the initiative to the other team, and you have to sort of decide what you're going to do based on what the other team does. Like, oh, it looks like they're loading up on yellow side, so we either need to decide to attack that position or we need to go to blue. But you don't. Basically, you let the other team dictate the terms of how your opening move is going to go then, which isn't always how you want to do things.
So, did you have any particular issues at any particular roles whilst you were there?
The first day, I think mostly the reason I kind of got into a funky headspace was I felt like I played my commander game incredibly poorly, and I just didn't really know what I was doing. Like my hit diff was crappy. I wasn't able to get into the other team, so I didn't feel like I was either farming or medic shredding effectively. And if I'm not doing either of those things, I feel like I'm a complete just waste as a commander.
Right.
Well,
so that was a little bit rough.
I mean, to be fair, if you're not doing either of those things, you are being a complete fucking waste at Adam Commander. So your headspace wasn't wrong. You were being a complete fucking waste.
So that field and Detroit are kind of weird in that I feel like I play better as a heavy than I do as a commander. Most fields, I feel like I'm a little bit stronger at commander than I am at heavy.
Right.
But St. George and Detroit, for whatever reason, I feel way more comfortable as a heavy than I do as a commander.
Right.
So it's just a little bit weird. And I didn't draw really a lot of 3-hit games on the first day either, so I just didn't really have a chance to kind of get myself out of that space. Second day went a bit better, although the second day was also our incident that Grack had made a meme about, where I came out with almost 14K as commander, but our team got eliminated.
Yep.
And there
How
would
the-
have, yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, please fucking tell me how the fuck you guys managed that, because that was fantastic. You went on points by 6K, but you all fucking die, so of course you lose. So please tell me the uselessness that went into that particular bit of failure.
Yeah, so the story for that game, and Russ even gave like running commentary because I rewatched the whole video of that game, because I had to go back and watch the film on it from the Twitch stream, because I'm like, how did that go wrong? I felt like that game was going great. And I feel like I'm not even exaggerating when I say like I was having maybe the best commander game of my life in terms of just dictating how the game flowed, getting resubs at the right time, scoring as many points as I could. I was averaging, as Russ had said, a nuke every 2 minutes. 6 minutes in, I already had 3 nukes. I think at the 9-minute mark, I was already over 12K, something like that. Like
Right.
it was just crazy good. I had used all my missiles. I was feeling like we were rolling. As soon as I got to 60, I was like ready to drop. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hold these nukes. I was only planning on dropping 2, but now I have 3. So I'm a 3 chain. We're going to put them on the back foot. This will be great. I got my 4th nuke after that. So I had dropped 4 nukes before Crypt, the opposing commander, had even dropped 1. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great. Their medic is about to go out. Things couldn't be better. I'm sure we'll just wrap this game up in the next minute or 2, and this will be good. I'll feel good about things. Then Crypt did a thing that some of the St. George players do, where they do the stagger nuke chain, where they don't drop continuously, but drop a nuke, let your team farm for resets, then you drop another one, let them farm for some more resets, then you drop another one. And just put our race up in the most miserable locations possible. You're talking about you have to do the kicks properly. Yeah, we didn't do that. So our medic would have only lost 9 lives from the nukes, but I think lost an additional 4 from the reset chains. Caleb was our ammo that game. I think he lost his 17 remaining lives in like maybe 60 to 70 seconds.
Oh, fuck
It was
me
awful.
running.
I had, in fact, just gotten back, finally found Caleb where we're supposed to meet up in the blue corner, and came around. I had, I think, 9 or 10 shots remaining at that point, and saw Aiden take his last life and kill him out of the game. So I look down at my gun. I'm on a little over 14,000, but I have 10 shots and like 13 lives left. And from there on, it was kind of just pain.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting knocked under the 14K, but yeah, had that game like gone to time, I feel like I probably could have got up to like 15-5 or 16, and those aren't scores that I usually get, even when I'm like super engaged in commander mode. So I gotta hand it to Crypt, even though I was outscoring like everybody by a lot. His stagger nuke chain was like as perfectly operated as possible. Killed out our resubs, killed out our heavy, and then they just mopped us up. And I had the most miserable end to the game, just running around with no shots and no missiles, getting torn up by scouts, and having to find new and creative ways to try to dodge missiles, which you can't do on Gen 8, by the way. So I just had to start eating them. And yeah, I kept thinking that 60-second mark was going to come, because I'm like, I have 14,000 points. How are we not under 60 seconds? This is insane. But yeah, there was still over a minute left when I died.
Yeah.
So it was bad.
I had a similar game on day 2 of our tournament where, no, was it? Yeah, I think it was day 2. But like I cracked, I was 1 off my 6th nuke and we still lost the game. And it's like, you know, like I'm the same as you. Like I don't get commander scores like that. I don't play commander a lot. When I do, it's certainly not, you know, anywhere near that. And yeah, we still lost the game. I'm just like, this sucks. I had like one of the best games I think I've ever played, as an
You
attacking
were salty.
role. Yeah.
You were salty coming out of the game because I was watching the stream at that point, and you were definitely
Being a baby, as per normal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was definitely angry. I think my remark when I came out of that game was just throwing up my hands and saying something like, "What more do I have to do?"
That's exactly what
What more do
I
I have to
said. Before good 6-6, what else do I have to do to win the game?
So I apologize to my team after that. Kind of fortunately, I think for my headspace, I had actually drawn Commander back-to-back games. So in the second game of that match, I played Commander again, and we took care of business the second game.
Nice.
And I felt like I still had a decent game, so I didn't completely, just blow off my good headspace from, hey, I had a good Commander game, but we still lost.
Yeah, right on. I had a question and it's gone. I can't remember what I was going to ask.
nice job,
sure it was
nice
very
job,
important.
Steve-O.
Way to direct the conversation.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the high quality content
Meh.
that you show up here
Oh, we
every
can't
Friday
even,
and Saturday night for.
Oh,
That you pay all kinds of hydrate bots for.
see you, Hoodie. We'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Later, Hoodie.
You're right. I was gonna say, but this is free, but like we get paid sort of to do it, so. Maybe.
They're volunteering to pay us. They have no one to blame but themselves.
That's fairly accurate, yeah.
So, did you guys have like an awards dinner or anything, or did you guys like strictly keep to?
We didn't, because there was, still obviously the concern about social distancing and masking and stuff like that. So not a lot of common things to be handled, and not like a formal awards dinner. I mean, we still had people gathering for lunch and things like that to eat. So we were still in semi-close contact with one another, but no, nothing like that. We played a few socials Wednesday after we had concluded play for the tournament. I was kind of surprised that people really didn't stick around and want to play that much more, except for some of us out-of-towners who otherwise really don't get to play. So I went ahead to scratch off that Iron Man 2 achievement where you play like 15 games in one day or whatever.
Right.
So I'm going to get that at the St. George site.
Nice.
I think I counted it like 51 games over the 4 days I was there.
Wow.
That's a good effort.
That's real good.
Yeah.
Effort. That we played like
the listeners on my feet can attest to that.
I think we played about 12. We played 13 games each on day 1 and day 3 of our tournament, and then I think it was 18 on day 2 because there was a total of 20
per like total games though, not per person.
Per person, yeah.
Per person. Wow.
Yeah. We didn't have
That's a lot.
Yeah, we played like more than a nat's worth of games in a 3-day period. Because you basically, it was we had a 5-hour window, and we ran 13 day 1, 16 day 2, and 13 day 3 each. And then you got, I think, there were 15 games in total played day 1 and day 3, and 20 on day 2, which was dope. But that's why, after day 1, I
guess I have to remember that you guys only had like
15 people.
15 total players.
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually makes more sense now that I'm thinking about it.
Which is, like, looking back, is such a dope way to like play with low numbers of people. It was so good. It was such a good format. Massive shout out to Greg if he's listening. Great format for a tournament. And give him 80% of the credit. I must sneak 20% for myself.
That's fair.
But yeah, so
you just need to make sure that the admin work is better on it.
Well, we're gonna sidestep that one. Yeah. So, I guess, how were you after the tournament? How are you feeling, like, body wise?
Sore.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of some other like higher low lights from the tournament. There's some other good moments, didn't necessarily involve me, but did involve my team. We also had another thing you don't see in a lot of tournaments. We had a stalemate that emerged. Again, my team against Thunder's team. Where Inferno and Thunder were opposing 3 hits. Everybody else in the game was dead. They were both 3 hits. Both ran out of shots. Both ran out of missiles. There was over a minute left, so they went to the center of the arena, high-fived, and walked out together
That's
in
awesome.
true brotherly love St. George fashion, because there was nothing else to be done.
That's so good.
That's pretty fantastic.
So Al said, I'm looking forward to playing a tournament like that sooner than later. If the border opens up between our fine countries, if it happens relatively soon, I don't know when that would be, but if it happens relatively soon, I'd like to do something early next year, in preparation for a hopeful but probably unlikely Nationals to take place mid next year. If Nationals doesn't take place but the borders are still open, then we'll run something Australia New Zealand instead of Nationals. We'll kick it back to the old school way of doing Nationals. Oh my goodness, Slamham with the gift subs.
Hey,
Thank
Yeah,
you so
buddy.
much.
man.
Can we have some
Good playing with you again, Stalker.
Could we have some Reggies in chat for Slamman? This dude is like generous as shit. So good. So good. Oh, we need to do some more lights for you. Hang on. Where's the lights? Where's the lights? Wait, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Technical issues.
Great radio here.
That's the wrong. That's the
While
wrong
Steve's
button.
fixing that, let's see other fun bits. We had the emergence of a new stock character that we've decided to create, which is instead of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in St. George, we have Dr. Forsyth, Mr. Tandor. Because Adam, aka Tandor, is a very nice guy, really pleasant dude to hang out with. All that
But-
cool dude to be around. You'll be the first to admit, gets a little competitive, gets a little heated in the maze, and can be a little bit demanding, especially toward his own family members, of which there are many who play laser tag. There are many Forsyths who play laser tag. So that just got to be a kind of running joke, is that he would come out and just be like yelling at one of his brothers, or yelling about how the refs got this or that wrong, about how he needed refs and stuff like that. And then like 5 minutes later, he'd just be like, sorry guys, I got a little bit heated. We're like, oh, okay, Mr. Tandor came out there for a minute or two.
So the key thing there that makes you a top bloke is once you've been a dick, and when you calm down from being a dick, you be a man or a woman, either way. But you be a top
Be a
person.
good person.
You be a good person, and you apologize for being a dick. Sometimes that shit is really hard to keep a lid on. And blow-ups happen, especially when family's involved. Fuck that, I'm never wrong. But yeah, if you can apologize for being a dick after, it goes a long way to making you less of a dick. Apologizing is a difficult thing to do, but it's always a necessary thing for you to do if you were being a dick. Which
is what makes Tandor a good dude and not a dick.
That's exactly right.
Guess he acknowledges that he got a little over the top, and it's like, sorry guys, get away from me a little bit there.
until you fix the tournament with a
stack
team. Yeah.
Well, that might be a separate issue.
Yeah.
Or it might be related. Maybe we have to blame Mr. Tandor for the mistakes of Dr. Forsyth.
Godsoon, is that why
goddamn lawyers
lost your shit at me at home site almost every week, G&D? It's exactly right. I hold you to a higher standard of playing, and if you don't meet my standards, I'm gonna let you know about it.
With a chair.
With a chair.
repeatedly. Yeah.
I need to invent like a foam chair. I need beanbags is what I need. I can throw those chairs around all day. It sounds like the tournament was actually really fun.
It was. It
Yeah.
was really fun.
That's what you want. That's why we play the games that we play. Because they're fun for the most part. And we're good at it for the most part.
I mean, at this point, I'm probably not, but
more
I'd
the
still-
former than the later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm really hoping that wherever we do the next one, I'll actually be able to go. Like this week for me, work wise, was just like, after the Monday and Tuesday that I had, it was like, man, I really wish I hadn't had to fucking deal with that. I would really wish I'd been in Utah. but I'm glad I was here to deal with it, because if I had had to come back to that, it would have been a million times worse. But
Especially like right in the high of like laser tag, to then come crashing down with a little taste of reality. Hate it. Yeah, so there's hope for you, Than. I didn't embarrass myself after 16 years off. I thought you played pretty well, Stallion. I thought you had a good week until you got tired. I could visibly see it in your face, the fatigue setting in. But it wasn't just you. It was a lot of people over three days were out of shape, and there's a lot of people I could see fatigue sitting in over the face. And that's where like a lot of mistakes happen, and a lot of we had way more penalties I think on day 3 than we did day 2 or day 1.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, people would just and you're right. Day 3 ramps was a killer. We should have played there first. Idiots.
Yeah, because although we don't use the upstairs area in St. George, some of the ref vantage points were better from the second floor, but they have some very steep ramps, and let me tell you, when your quads are not feeling good, some of those ramps are a bit rough.
Yeah.
So I certainly don't blame you guys for that.
A lot of mistakes are just me, Steve. I made probably the biggest mistake of the tournament. I'd say, one that cost my team the win, but meh, shit happens.
It does.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. It cost your teams the wins.
I mean, and really, it's not a nationals or an international, so really, it's just a masturbation tourney. So it really doesn't matter in the short run. I mean, it would feel good to win, but it doesn't really mean anything. So
not sure.
It's a masturbation tourney.
I don't think I'd want to go and see one of those tournaments. I certainly wouldn't want to stream it on Twitch.
You'd probably get banned. You'd probably wouldn't be.
As I was key to point out to all the other SAC players, since we got 5th last year at Nats, my 4th place finish in this tournament is technically speaking an improvement.
Which is not bad, seeing as you don't have a site to play it anymore.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I wish that you guys had a site. It would be really awesome.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I would like to know if I just had Rust to play off, or if this is kind of age catching up with me. According to friend of the podcast and person I live with, I'm just experiencing a midlife laser tag crisis.
I mean, little a column A, little a column B.
Yeah.
I know that I'm probably not going to get back to peak DK form, but at the same time, like, I want to be able to keep doing this, because I mean, Traj is still playing in his 80s, so why not the rest of us?
Well, look, speaking of peak form, an Elcom Blaster. Oh, that's a great name. Thank you for the follow. That's great. I didn't just realize what it meant as I was reading it out. I love it. It's good.
That's a double blindy right
there. Yeah. Speaking of in shape, right? So, cheers. So one thing that has come out of COVID, and like, I heard you call it this, DK, but actually, before we get there, I've segued maybe a little prematurely.
That happens as you get older.
That's right. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention about the tournament? Like, we could still keep going. We could still keep talking about it.
I'll have some shout outs to give, I think, toward the end, but we can save that. We can segue onto we'll circle back. We'll circle back.
All right. Thank you for those bits. It's awesome. I don't know why that's a facepalm. I'm glad that I read that out loud. That's awesome.
You got a little premature with your and now Calm Blaster. That was a great reading, by the way.
You even had the lights and everything, and now Com Blaster up and lights. That's what we want. and then he redeemed Hydrate Bot. Or she. Equal opportunity. Right, so Speaking of in shape, COVID this year has been pretty brutal for a lot of people, as we've talked about in previous podcasts. Part of that emotional journey for me is it really between that and like the health issues I was having, it really like killed all my motivation for doing any exercise. Earthquake down there, was it a big one? The big earthquake down there, Stallion? I mean, they happen all the time, but yeah, I hope you're all right. Man, exclusive. Maybe a 5-pointer. Whatever. It's enough to shake the house, but not enough to bring it down. But yeah, so between COVID stuff and health stuff, and then other personal family stuff, motivation just went out the window for all of the health kick that I was on. And in the preparation for 2018 Brisbane Nats, I went through like a radical fitness regime that like I dropped a lot of weight on, but I did it very quickly, and I think it caused a lot of damage, which ended up putting me in the hospital several times over the following 2 years, basically. And so I weighed myself yesterday, and I'm by far the heaviest I've ever been as an adult. I put all the weight back on, plus then some, that full COVID-19, if you will. But I'm a kg off, kg shy of 120 kg, which is way too far into the unhealthy realms that I want to be. So
That's a thick boy.
Oh, that's very thick boy, and I hate it. Like I've battled with body shit my whole life. Which,
I'm right there with you on that.
Oh yeah, I think that's a normal thing though. For a lot of people.
Less talked about for men, but we need to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely something that is more socially talked about for women.
Yeah.
But it is also a thing that, I know I've definitely dealt with some challenges with it over the years, and trying to, we do a lot of shit on this pod about trying to normalize certain conversations.
Yeah.
We've had the conversations, trying to normalize, talking about mental health. Because it's obviously been near and dear to the community in terrible ways multiple times.
Right.
So, sorry to hijack you, Steve-O, but yeah, this is another conversation that, I think, if we as a community can normalize it within the community, the body image issues that both women and men face, and the ridiculous societal expectations that get placed on both sexes. I mean, these conversations have to start somewhere,
for sure.
And if they start, you start them within your own small tribes, you start them within your own communities, and then you hope that the conversations spread, because everybody has their multiple tribes and communities that they belong to. Mm-hmm. So if you normalize the conversation in one place, maybe that spreads to other communities, and it is something that, it's worth having the conversation about, for sure.
So, Slam Man, you're right. Like, the best part about the Force communities that we by default we welcome everyone.
We try to welcome everybody. We have some challenges at times with certain things, but by and large,
unless you're in a cult, and then you can fuck right up.
Yes, and then
if you're in a cult, or you're just a creep in general.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
But
if you're a garbage person, you are not welcome. Fuck off. But
anything within the acceptable range of human behaviors.
That's right. So, for me, I'm fairly image conscious. Again, it's something that's like battled with forever. Like I really care about how I present myself, how I look, and so when I don't feel when I don't feel good about myself, it flows onto everything else. And again, it's probably something that most people battle with. But once it goes into the realms of, it goes past the realms of I don't like how I look, and into now I'm at risk of diabetes or, you know, heart disease in my late 30s or early 40s or whatever the case may be, that's the time when you, I mean, it's now the time's overdue to actually do something. And seeing as we have this platform to speak to basically our friends directly en masse every week, I had an epiphany yesterday after I weighed myself, and I was like, well, part of the issue is not being accountable to anyone except for maybe yourself, which for me is not enough. I need more. And so what I would like to do going forward is I have a goal in place. I want to lose 20 kg by the time Nats rolls around next year.
Jesus fucking Christ, people.
It can be achieved.
That would be super unhealthy, bro.
Yeah. I got a
20
mix.
kgs a week? No, we're not gonna do that.
A doctor in the Philippines is gonna help me out with it. no.
Just cut off my legs.
Yeah. But having a platform where you can kind of be held accountable on a semi. Steve having both legs amputated to achieve that. I still want to be able to play Laserforce. And
Prosthetics, they weigh less.
Yeah, I guess, but you know, those ramps in Auckland, they're a son of a bitch.
Yeah, might be challenging.
So I wanna kind of do a weekly weigh-in, if you will. Just the toes. How much do you think my toes fucking weigh each? That's like a kg a toe, right? Holy shit! My poor shoes. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to do like a weekly bit where we kind of briefly touch base and we talk about what we've done this week to help achieve that goal, and then maybe like either a weekly or monthly weigh-in or something. Maybe we'll do a monthly weigh-in so there's actual numbers. But
yeah,
progress.
You don't want to get too caught up in like the weekly numbers and stuff like that, because there's going to be some natural variation, and how many times people have hit the hydration bot is going to affect, you know, what your weight is. But
exactly,
if you want to do a monthly or something like that, just to kind of look at progress.
Yeah.
At least in your case, you get to include playing some weekly laser tag as part of your fitness regimen.
Exactly.
I found that as a great thing for keeping the weight down. It's much harder when you don't have that.
Yeah.
And I mean, secondary thing with that, and this is one of the things that I struggle with on this is, you know, the number on the scale, while it's one measure of things, is not the be all and end all measure.
Oh, it's a blunt instrument.
Yeah, it's a sledgehammer when the reality is that, you know, you should be using a scalpel.
Yeah.
So it's that trying to remember that, okay, you know, if I'm working out more, you know, maybe my weight isn't going to change, but my body shape is.
Yeah.
And trying to remember that piece with everything.
So to that though, when you are overweight, and I am significantly overweight, I'm like 40 kgs overweight, really. That blunt instrument is a great instrument initially. When you get down when you get down closer to those other ones, then it does become more of, all right, you know, what are my measurements like now? Can I fit a size medium instead of barely a size XL, which is, you know, those are also great blunt instruments. Tina said total weight loss is up at around 60 kg. That's awesome. I did see pictures recently. Well done.
Cool. Very well done, Tina.
And you're right, pint size, biggest loser, Laserforce edition. Because that's the next thing is, when you do something like this as a community, and I know that there are other people in the community that are struggling with the same thing, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, which is that's essentially what I'm doing now, is reaching out to everyone and asking for help. So don't be afraid to do the same thing, because it's important. I don't want to get diabetes, and it's like rampant in my family. I'm at like
you kind of have a genetic disposition.
I tick all those boxes.
Yeah.
So but more importantly, I don't want to die in my 30s. And recently, my cousin passed away like a couple of months ago, and he was 38, and severely overweight.
That's 3 years younger than me right now. That's sobering.
Yeah, I'm 4 years off. So
yeah, we still want you around for 4 years, Steve.
I still want to be here. I want to be here for the next 30. I mean, that might be pushing it, but still, I want to be here a while. So
a bit more than that.
Yeah,
we gotta get some Zimmer frame laser tag in.
Actually, I want to maybe 40 years. I want another 40 years at least. So going forwards, maybe we do an end of the month weigh-in, just as a small measure of some sort of progression. Because last time I dropped it, I did 20 kg in like 12 weeks, and felt awesome until I didn't feel awesome. And then I was in and out of hospital and shit, as Dave can attest.
Oh shit!
Hang on, hold on, pause. Who the fuck is this Dave person?
Dave is my savior.
No.
Dave is around when shit gets fucking real.
No, I know. I am aware of that. But who the fuck is this Dave person?
It's like the fan calling you on the phone. It's like, oh fuck, someone's dead.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately that has actually been
happened.
the case.
Yeah, like 2 out of the 4 times that it's happened, I think that is what's happened.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's what I call DK in the middle of the night when we from our hotel bed.
Blimey.
Hey now.
Don't worry, Niven still slept through all of it.
Check Discord if you can, and I can set that up. I'll check it after the stream, Maddie. I don't want to stress out my computer too much. I already saw some bars down the corner before saying, "Whoa, don't open a browser."
Oh, we got a badass over here.
But yeah, I was thinking something similar. So we'll set something up in the Discord, and maybe it could be a place. Maybe if I'm feeling brave, I'll post some photos. Which aren't the most flattering, but are usually a good way to shame you into doing something about
you do what makes you comfortable, man.
Comfort is not a good thing. It's not where I want to be.
Because comfort is what's led you to this point.
Yeah, well, sort of. So, but on that, on that, like, with the weight, and I noticed this last time because I was, I was around 116, I think, at my previous heaviness, and I was having back issues, and part of my coccyx problems, I'm pretty sure, are directly related to the amount of weight that my body's got to cover. My knees are starting to like scream at me when I walk upstairs. All of this stuff is tied into the amount of stress that your body's under, or all your center of gravity's kicked out, and I noticed like dropping all that weight last time made my body feel so much better. You don't have that constant pain that you're dealing with. And I see you there, Sol. I have been very aware. I haven't seen any progress photos of you for a long time, and I have a feeling that's maybe by design. So yeah, I'm very interested to hear about your progress because you've been quiet on it for a while, and I think I know why. Sorry, Dan, I interrupted your train of thought before.
That's fine. Because I'm a pro,
nuke the
I
entire
remember where I
site from
was.
Far more pro than me. You drop.
Well, that's fair.
That's what I thought, Sol.
So, this, if we, it seems like that this may be something, that as a community, if people want to get involved with it, in as much as people people decide, hey, yeah, I'm, insert X amount off of weight that I want to be. I'm 10 kgs heavy. I'm 15 pounds heavy. Whatever, maybe that does become something that we do as as a full community thing where we are all accountable to each other as a community for the progress. And it's not necessarily and obviously if if you don't want to do the thing, that's fine. But if you're like Steve-O, and honestly I think like me as well. I mean, I hit my heaviest I've ever been about a month ago. I got on the scale and there was a 2 in the hundreds column, and I have never seen a 2 in the hundreds column before. And it was very much
you even keep that, bro?
It's honestly it's my fucking gut, bro. Like, my face doesn't carry any of the weight. So you look at me on here and you're like, what? No. I cracked 200 pounds, which I've never done before.
Right.
That's what Texas will do to you, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta watch out.
Not wrong. So there's kind of this thing of like, if I, and I've gotten back under that 200 mark, but it's like I'm stuck. And I think maybe if I had the wider accountability as well, that might also help, because
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted by Russell.
Russ is at his heaviest, but it's all hair. I mean, to be fair, Russ, your hair is fucking glorious, and I am so fucking jealous. You have no idea how jealous I am of.
It's okay.
Of your hair.
I suppose it's okay.
You do.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's no shoulder length, whatever. But
you still got to catch up to you in the neckbeard department too.
So so that's where I was alluding to. Like, this neckbeard is mostly to hide. See these lines here? It's mostly to hide everything underneath, and like only to hide it from me, because it doesn't hide it from anyone else. So on the community thing, there's my thoughts were that we would do something in the Discord, and I'll check to see what Matt's got in mind. We set something up there. Auntie 2 has posted in the chat about MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is a fantastic app.
Which we are not getting paid to endorse.
That's right, but it's still really
I believe all three of us have used it before.
Can you, we'll have to look at how to set up some kind of community in that one, and so if people want to come and post progress and stuff in there, then that might be a less public place, a more relevant place to do that than in Discord. It's easy to do.
Yeah,
excellent. I might have to talk to you after hour, and maybe we'll look at doing something like from a community point of view, because I think when you're doing something as a group, it's way more fun. And usually when something's more fun,
oh, grow up, Dan.
And usually when it's more fun, it's more productive. So on that kind of train of thought that you're on there, Dan, we have down the bottom, we have the like rolling stream labels little bar, and right down there at the moment it has Anel Com Blaster as our most recent follower, which I love. It's so good.
Yeah, I am completely immature, and if you fuckers didn't know that by now, that's your fucking problem.
That's
so
right.
You know,
I like immature Than. He's
obviously,
yeah. But yeah, that's where my head is at the moment. That's the sort of stuff that's rattling around in the old brain at the moment. It's something that's obviously close to my cholesterol laden heart. So yeah, if I could use the help. I could use the help to get out of that danger zone. because the highway to the danger zone is somewhere that is full of takeaways. But yeah,
Tasty takeaways.
what is
That we shouldn't eat so many of.
what is 120 kg in pounds?
It's like 260-ish pounds.
Yeah.
Ish.
Oh, it's so much
That's a lot.
worse.
Yeah.
It's so much worse
2.2 pounds a kilo.
when you're talking about
Yeah.
pounds. Yuck. All right. So yeah, that's where I am. That's where I would like to get to. 265.
I was close with 260 doing very quick mental math, Russ.
Yeah,
Fuck up.
good.
Right. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about?
I mean, DK, you had some shout outs that you wanted to make, and I feel like we've had the serious portion of our show, and now we need to lighten it the fuck back up.
We're all
you
the
do
way
that
back.
thing.
It's the circle of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. So potentially. So first off, like, thank yous for the tournament. Big thanks to Laser Mania for letting us have the tournament and for making sure the facilities were set up for us, with keeping it close to the Gen Pub so we didn't go over, the number of people we're supposed to have in the building during COVID restrictions, making all the cleansers and stuff like that available to us, for keeping the vests clean and sanitized in between games. Thanks to Snuffles for
just quickly
opening
on
up.
that. Sorry to interject. Did you guys play where you kept your own packs for or?
Yes, because we played all the matches. Basically, we would play both games of the match, and you'd leave your same vest on in between games.
Yeah,
and then
you take it off.
Then you take them off. I mean, unless you're playing again or something like that. But if anybody else is going to use it, then yeah, you wipe it down. Either you wipe it down or they can wipe it down, however you want to do it. But they had some extra cloths and some very foul-smelling alcohol solution we put on them, but I'm sure killed anything that was on those things.
Perfect. All right, that's good.
So,
that's
nothing,
good. Laser tape
nothing was
practice.
perfect, but I think we did a pretty good job. It met what I was hoping from a health and safety standard. That obviously nothing is 100% secure, but I feel like we were reasonable in the precautions we took, and we didn't just throw caution to the wind because, hey, we were all hanging out and that's what we do. People were good about wearing masks outside of the games. People were good about wiping things down, about, not overly congregating in closed spaces and things like that. So I was happy to see all that. So thank you to Snuffles for opening up for us every day, for getting lots of the game issues sorted. Thanks to Tandor for doing most of the organization for the tournament and getting the schedules and things like that. Big thanks to Russ for setting up a stats page for us on very, very short notice. Always appreciate that, buddy.
I didn't know that was like a thing that he had. I just thought that stats would just go on the website.
Yeah, they just magically appear.
So he was like multiple times in the lead up to our tournament was like, "Let me know what you want to set up for the stats." And I was like, I don't understand the question. Isn't it just the stats go on the website? Is that all that it is?
If it's just site for socials, once it's set up, I mean, obviously you upload, it's fine, but for tournament stuff, there is extra work that he has to do, which now in order for that to actually do things correctly. So the moral of the story here, folks, is fucking tell Russ well in advance of when something's going to happen so we can fucking set it up for you.
Perfect.
Yep.
Anyway.
They did a damn good job, even on short notice, so thank you, Russ. Even if we did get a couple sideways glances for trying to host a tournament during COVID. You weren't wrong, by the way. You weren't wrong.
He's so mad about it.
It was maybe not the best idea, but we've gotten through it successfully. And big thanks to Beans for making sure that we had stream accessibility and stuff set up for that. Thank you to Thunder for making sure the stream was on every day and for being the primary person responsible for uploading the stats and making sure those worked. A few of us took shifts on that, but Thunder definitely did the most legwork on that while we were there. So it was a group effort. But thanks to everybody who helped with that. It was really great to see everybody. Thanks to Stalker and Minette for making sure that the SAC players had rides going to different places, getting from the airport to the airport, around town, all that kind of stuff. was really cool to see everybody pitch in for that.
Mm.
Just other kinds of like honorable mentions, I wanted to like give shout outs to, I thought, some players who I thought were particular standouts during the tournament. Obviously, we know that there were some really great players like Thunder and Tandor we expected to do really well. A lot of the very highly ranked home site players we expected really good things from, and they certainly didn't disappoint. But Snuffles in particular, who most people met at 2019 Nats, is one of Tandor's brothers. He primarily played scout for them in Detroit last year, but he was basically put into kind of the leadership position for the SoCal team, and he just crushed it all week, man. He was easily as good as Thunder or Tandor, and putting up just crushing scores, shredding medics, all of those kinds of things. You know, if he drew a 3-hit, things were going to be rough. But as far as like outer tanners go, like I would also give a shout out to a couple of SoCal players. Kodama, already probably a pretty well respected player in the US, but just has continued to improve. Has done really well last few tournaments. So he's become really quite a good player. And somebody who I keep an eye on for future strong US teams. And Soyboy, who I had not met until now, a name that I've seen passed around a little bit, but I never actually met Zeb in person until the other weekend. Yeah, he was great at this tournament too. Between him and Snuffles and that SoCal team, oh man, they were just a force to be reckoned with. And he drew so many 3-hit games and was just beating the crap out of everybody. And was like surviving in random games too. There were so many games where it was like he'd be the last one left, and he just utterly disappeared and people could not find him, and then he would still be running around the whole maze for a long time and stuff like that. So Zeb, Soyboy did really well, Kodama did really well, Stumbles did really well. Lots of players did great, but I know, at least from kind of my frame of reference, having battled against people over the years, like those 3 players I think really stood out to me this last week. And Applesauce too. She did really great as well. She was hyper aggressive and really communicative too, in like helping to lock down positions and letting people know what was happening at different points in the game. She was like going up against her when she was a heavy. It was not pleasant. She was just busting people down left and right.
Nice.
So yeah, lots of honorable mentions to go around. I apologize if I forgot anybody, but the St. George players, it's your arena. You know you're good. And SAC players, we never get to play, so we know we're bad.
It's accurate. It's all accurate.
Did you do Chronicles for this tournament or no?
No, not other than my depressed rant that I had at the end of day one.
It's so good. You should dye your hair black. Wear it down over your face.
got a little emo, but I'm on the even keel. But yeah, it's tough if you're just, as you were alluding to, and when your body doesn't respond the way that you want it to. And like, as much as we joke about being old, obviously we're not old, but yeah, we're not 25 anymore.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't bounce back from some of the activities that you put it through quite as quickly as it once did. And coming to peace with that is difficult. When
I still haven't.
Yeah, when your brain is telling your body, hey, do this thing that we've done 1,000 times before, and it's just like
a little
no.
sluggish.
No.
Yeah.
And you're like, why not? That's bullshit.
I get that playing soccer all the time, because like I play in goal, and there are things that happen. It's like I should make that save, and my body's like, nah,
bro,
nah, we're not.
Yeah. That would involve like jumping and maybe falling, and well, come on, man, we can't be doing that.
Jump over.
It would involve moving faster than you really can right now. So get fucked. Yeah, pretty
Dive
much.
for the ball, buddy. What was that?
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. Like, so I do a little bit of roller skating. Well, actually, I haven't roller skated for a little while. But like falling down as an adult is incredibly painful. It sucks so bad, man. It put you out for like a whole week.
Yeah, I don't remember what comedian it was who said that over the course of your life, you go from falling down to having a fall. When you start having falls, that's when you know it's starting to stack up on you.
Yeah. Hashtag fuck adulting. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Fuck this getting old bullshit.
Yeah, it sucks. But, that's why we play a children's game. to postpone that old man feeling for as long as possible, or at least ignore it for as long as possible.
Okay.
But it's hard when you're used to operating at like a high level for any kind of competitive thing. Because I was telling people like I wouldn't delude myself in ever thinking that I was ever like the best, but I felt like I was at least a very solid player earlier in my career. And just when you feel like that's slipping away from you, it's just hard to come to.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's maybe on par with not being able to play type levels of heartbreaking. We got a taste of that. Obviously, we're much more fortunate than most, but we got a taste of not being able to play, and it was heartbreaking. So
Yeah. And the two are related because if I'm not practicing on a weekly basis, it just goes away.
Yeah.
That much faster.
Yeah.
So
Muscle memory is a thing.
It's like, oh, I want to get back to that place, but I don't know that I ever will. So I'm like, what is my new maximum threshold? But if I don't play, I don't know how long it will take to reach it. I don't know. I just get in a bad headspace sometimes.
Yeah. Russ says, "Ha, idiots. Be like me and never have it. It's way better. Can't lose it if you never had it." Right on. Well, going forward, so this coming week, we have D&D tomorrow, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll write something up.
Oh, you went in the cave and there's a big spider.
And there's a dragon there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's what the game.
Roll a dice to see how well the dragon does dragon. So, assuming that we have D&D tomorrow, we have D&D
We will.
tomorrow.
I just kidding. I do have stuff. We'll be
Perfect.
fine.
It's all about coming to grips with not being as good as you thought you were at D&D. But
yes, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Tuesday, I haven't decided whether or not we're going to do a Laserforce live again. I didn't do one this week because of the tournament happening. I figured people got their fill of streams, except for me, who is terrible with timing, apparently. Thursday night, we have a Halloween edition of Thunderdome Thursday. I'm still not entirely sure what game we're going to play, but both me and Gray are going to dress up. So if you want to come be amused for a little while, come and check out the Thursday night stream, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We need more Laserforce streams. I mean, yeah. Oh, so that's a good point, Shawnee. Still waiting on a watch party. That's coming in the next couple of weeks because we have no more tournaments to milk content out of. So we're going to go back to the well and do another watch party. I think the next one will be Highlander. I think we talked about doing.
And I'm pretty sure that we discussed doing that so that we could have a rewatchables episode, not next week the 30th, but the week after the 6th, so that I can actually be here for it because there's two ways we can do that. Either we do the watch party early Saturday morning, which is doable for us, but it means that you guys are probably all going to be at work or asleep, or we'll do it the night before, and we'll do it like we did with Aliens, where we watched it the night before, and we'll figure something out. But it'll probably be in 2 weeks that we'll do that one, and then we'll do another Rewatchables podcast, but we'll steal other people's podcast format and put our own spin on it. I think that's all we've got coming up. Oh, and obviously the resupply next week, which who knows? Maybe I'll wear the costume that I had in mind. It's a thing of beauty. I can't wait. But anyway, so was there anything you guys wanted to announce or talk about or get off your chests before we say farewell?
How many ways do you want to say that I suck at laser tag now?
You don't suck at laser tag, you pink-haired bastard.
I think we have beaten all the dead horses bloody today, so I think we can call it.
God, that's harsh, Stallion. Harsh. I have a wonderful face. Look at this face. This is a face only a mother could love. Your mother. No, just jokes. Oh, we're ending on some bits. Thank you very much for those bits, Goldfish.
Hey.
We will leave it there for today. For this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK.
Oh fuck me!
Wow!
Running. Clap, clap.
Wow.
And I've been saying,
He doesn't even go to the
who's
tournament.
obviously
He gets
choking.
COVID.
What the fuck?
I mean, you know, sometimes. Oh, some more bits. That was great timing. My goodness, what a way to end. Always remember to backtrack, kids. Always remember to buy travel insurance. We will see you tomorrow, but we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.
I've been throwing daggers in the night. I've been chasing all the stars, stealing all their lights. The cut so sharp, cut so deep. If they seem to hit their target, it must be what we reap. 'Cause you don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I've been throwing daggers in my dreams. If they seem to hit their target, it's harder than it seems. You don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I'm a well-known stranger, walking my own path. Gave up all my mysteries just to get a laugh. You keep me hanging on so tight. Sometimes I just have to wonder, do you know wrong from right? 'Cause you don't know what I know. But you don't feel the way I feel. All these places